Hey, good morning, everybody. In today's episode of Coding the JavaScript Game Show, I'm going to cover some of the stuff I've done non-streamed over the last few days because I've been sick. And then we're going to look at how we finalize a game and show the player what, if anything, they won. So stick around. We'll be right there.
What the fuck is this?
All right, so like I said, I've been a bit under the weather for a few days, so I've been sitting on the couch watching Community and coding. So I've made a lot of progress that has not been streamed that I want to cover a little bit just because the app is going to look very different right now than how it used to. So let's just kind of jump right into that and just kind of do a quick recap. So here is what the app looks like now. There is a bunch, like I've established some consistent UI patterns for what it's going to be, and changed how it's hosted and a few other things. You'll notice I created a local domain. This is just in my host file, so it's gameshow.local, and it is hosted with a trusted SSL certificate that I built that up. This is also a PWA, so I can install it onto my computer. It's just I can't attach a debugger to it, so that's not what I'm using. But there is a thing called Who Wants to Be a JavaScriptær app that is installed, and I can run that as well. The UI is basically a green screen right now. There's a chance that the venue is going to be able to layer on a live video feed below it, which I think would be really cool. So I'm going with that. If I can't pull that off, then we have some work to do to basically put something else back there. There's a couple other little things, like here's the logo and there's a subtle glow effect, which is cool. There's a little listing for what are the games that have been played, and I can clear it. I had that kind of thing before. This has just kind of been styled up a little bit. When I'm starting a new game, I'm going to find a player by showing a question. So we're going to show a question up on the big screen, and whoever tweets to me the fastest with the correct answer will get to play. So there's a little thing here where I can now show a question. Obviously this has been styled up, but there's a few problems here with this. The native laptop screen that I was coding on is a slightly different resolution than what I'm going to be hosting it as. So there's some sizing issues I got to fix. That's one of the first things we need to do. But so I have a thing where we're showing some numbers or showing the question, a button to show the answers that slowly builds it out. And then I'm going to let the user, tell me what they think it is. So right now I don't have any way of scraping Twitter. So I'm just going to have my phone with me and I'll be like, hey, who was the first person to text me the right answer? And then we'll start the game. So this has the same kind of pattern as before. I have some controls in the upper left. I can type in, this is going to be Todd's game, and we will play a game. The game, so we're at now question 0 here. And at question 0, there is the list of things that the user can win. So here is, a stack of prizes. I reduced it to just 5 questions. I'm worried that with 10 questions, what I planned before, I don't know if I'll have enough prizes. And second, I think it could get slow. I think the audience could get bored of watching one player go through 10 questions. And so by changing that over, I can bring more people on stage, have more opportunities for banter and that sort of thing. So right now the user or the player could win the Sloth Squish toy, and they have a question or a choice to make. They can either choose to show the question or take the prizes. Now, take prizes doesn't really make sense for question 0, so maybe I should hide it there. Hide take prizes for question 0. Really, the only thing that they should be doing is showing the question. So when we say show the question, here we have this same UI. I read it dramatically. What is the result of this JavaScript? 2 space plus space 2. And we show the answers for the string 22, the string 4, or D not a number. and then the user blah, 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 whatever they think it is. The answer to this is 4. So when we click it, it changes color, and we say final answer. There's some dramatic fanfare. There's actually a little bit of sounds in this, but we're going to talk about those later. We highlight the correct answer and show them the prize that they won. This is some placeholder data, but like I have the name of the prize, a photo of the prize, and a photo of the or the logo of the company that donated it. And then we proceed to the next question. So now, if they answer the next one, they'll win the JetBrains product pack. So they can either choose to take their squish toy or go to the next question. This white one is supposed to indicate a threshold, which in the game is if you get to that, you will definitely, even if you answer the other questions wrong, you'll definitely get those prizes and below. Now I have the UI of that working, but the logic doesn't work. So like, we need to figure out like how to actually implement that. So if we say, we're gonna show this question, what is the result of this? And I answer it incorrectly. So let's call it 0, which is not the right answer. It was incorrect. We need to finish the game. And we go here and we got to figure out what to put here. So that is what we're going to do today, is figure out what do we put here? What goes here in order to figure out what are we doing? So let's look at some code. The code changed structure a little bit to make all of this stuff happen. There is a few different things here. There is a find player route, which shows that initial question. There's, the list of games, which is like an admin-y screen. So it shows me the list of games here, who's played them, what the status is, and lets me erase the data if I want to. There's, here's creating a new game. Here's showing the details of a game, like whether it's finished or not, and then showing a given question. I also built a couple of test things because I have a lot of dynamic data in this. Like I have a list of a bunch of questions and a bunch of prizes, and I got to make sure that they render correctly. So I built some things for that. So test questions just basically renders every single question that I have, just to make sure that I don't have any line ending problems, which I did have a few of those that I corrected, and go all the way through. I think maybe the first thing that we should do is like fix this display, because that's going to bug me. The other thing I have is I have a test thing for prizes that shows me like the rendering of all the different prizes that I have. I've populated a few of the real ones in, but I also have some placeholders in there still to make sure I have enough. The other thing that I'm doing here is just a few cycle checks. So like on the prize screen, I'm printing out like just a little bit of analytics so I know what's going on. I have 57 prizes coded in the system right now. I check for some duplicate IDs, figure out how many I have at each difficulty level, if I have enough in the system. I have the same concept for in the questions thing. I have a question integrity check. There's 60 questions. Make sure they have the right, there's a valid answer, and how many I have at each difficulty level. Difficulty 9 is a category I added for the find a player level questions. Okay, so then I have a couple of utilities that I created for various things. So shuffling an array to randomize answers and getting random integers for various different reasons. There's a couple of common components now. So like asking a question, displaying that question UI is now a common component because there's a few different places I use it. There's a game logo in like the lower left-hand corner that I show a bunch of times. In fact, I wanted to check something with that quick because it seemed to be loading kind of slow sometimes. I want to make sure that it's actually referencing the image. It is referencing the image. Cool. I have, showing an individual prize and showing the stack of prizes. And so those are all different components. The controllers are kind of the same that we had. I actually folded the game repository and game controller together. I didn't see a need to have them as two separate things. So it's got a few additional things right now. We can create a game. It is responsible for that. It's got a finish game that right now just knows how to return the prizes that weren't won, but I don't think it's even correct. And we mark a game as finished, getting all the games, that sort of thing. A mapping between difficulty and index. So for question 0, what difficulty should we get? And so basically this is set up to be 1 trivial, 2 easy, a medium, and a hard. I actually think that's wrong. Well, I was sick, so yeah, it's supposed to be 2 moderately difficult questions, not 2 easy questions. See, I was sick, so I did some things wrong. So let's just flip that around. That should be fine. Saving games, getting a prize stack, that sort of thing. The prize controller knows how to, get a prize. I used to have this thing build the whole stack, but then I had like this duplicate logic or duplicate concepts of index to difficulty mappings that existed in 2 different places. And so now this just takes, hey, for this game, give me a difficulty whatever prize. And I feel like that's a little bit better. And it knows how to release a prize that was not claimed. The question controller has a bunch of questions in it. Too many questions in it. And really, it just knows how to get a question for this game at this index, at this difficulty level. Go and get a question that hasn't been shown yet. And then I do have some sound, but we'll talk about that stuff later. That stuff's really finicky. Do you have a difficulty per question? Yeah, I do have a difficulty per question. So here in the game controller, there's a rough difficulty levels mapping to these integers. So trivially, a 0 is a trivial question, a 1 is easy, 2s are moderate, and 3s are hard. And so for example, here in the question controller where I have all my actual questions, a question has a difficulty rating. And so for example, here is a trivial question. The text is, what is 2 plus 2 in JavaScript? And I have, the right answer is the number 4. But, I could try to confuse people, say, oh, it's the string 4. Or, oh, no, it's string concatenation, and here's 22. Or, oh, it's just going to blow up, and it's not a number. And so, basically, I map out these things, and I pick out a question that has not been shown for the difficulty that you ask for. Because I don't want to show the same question more than once. Okay. I think I covered most of the changes. There's obviously a bunch of styling that I've done. I brought in Sass, and I roughly have a Sass file per thing. I don't like CSS in JavaScript. I like just a CSS file. And so I basically just have this mapping with this main file that just brings everything in. It's probably not the most efficient, but being that I'm just running this locally, I don't really care so much. And this just makes my life a little bit easier. So let's just check that in. Fix difficulty map for game. All right, so what are we going to do today? The first thing I want to do is I want to fix that question display for 1080 resolution because I think that is not correct. So if I go in here to a game and I go to this question has already been answered correctly. So I should just see everything. So there's a bunch of stuff I need to fix here because my resolutions were a little different. I have some stuff hanging off the edge here. I have a bunch of space here between these things, and this thing is too low. So we need to make some CSS changes. So let's just kind of start with positioning things correctly. So we have this prize wrap, and the prize wrap is set to be 160 pixels down from the top. I think that's wrong. I think I probably just want it at the top. Why is there all that padding at the top? top 0. I mean, I don't know why that's not exactly correct, but like it looks pretty good. Let's just make that change and be done with it. So that will be in routes, game, question details. The prize wrap here, we're going to change that to 0. Now let's make it a little wider so that this stuff touches the end. It looks like it's getting cut off a little bit too. So let's take a look at this background. The background, being that it's like a fixed resolution, we edit both things by adjusting the height, if I recall. So there we go. So 155 is what the height should be. And obviously that screwed up a bunch of other stuff when I did that. But let's just fix that. Prize show wrap. That's in its own component now. So we got to go into that. Prize show. And that's, what did we say that's going to be? 155. Yeah, this inner glow here, it is a really cool thing. I actually couldn't get that to work with CSS, so these are just images that I found and then adapted to be my needs. But it is a cool like effect. It really makes it feel like it's part of the game. So now I have like this inner thing that I need to adjust. So the text is not the correct size for what it should be. It needs to be what 155 pixels to like fully take up the space that it deserves. And it probably needs to be a little wider now too, honestly. So let's maybe make it, ooh, that's quite wide actually. Hmm, 1190 looks like about right. 155 by 1190. You know, I'm a little concerned that this is not going to be, like, optimizing for these resolutions is not going to be just right. So if I, like, shrink this up, I mean, it's okay. Obviously, I'm crushing everything together here a little bit, but, like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna have to do some more testing here. Probably not hooked up to a stream because I'm gonna need to play with multiple resolutions. And that's probably gonna be really wonky for streaming, but that's okay. Now I think I need to adjust a few other things. I think I need to make this thing higher again. I think 0 is maybe like not high enough. There's some sort of like padding going on with prize show wrap. Yeah, I think I want to do that just to help make things easier. So the question details route, let's just set this thing up to be able to position stuff absolutely a little bit better. And then my prize show, why does this thing keep getting itself pushed down. Is there like a thing happening here with like... Yeah, so like this price show text is a lot bigger than it should be. Because it's got this weird 180. Where did that come from? All right, so there was our problem. That needs to be quite a bit smaller. I built that just so like that prize image is a bigger than the border, and so I built a margin into it so that it didn't like crush anything, but that's now too big. That needs to just be 70. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay, so now where I position this thing can now be prize wrap top 20 pixels. Cool. Let's make it a little more. Let's make it 100 pixels. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. Maybe it touched even too high still, but I think I'm just going to go with it. No, let's bring it down just a tad more. Good. I like it. Okay. So now we need to kind of do the same fixes here for the question itself. So we changed a few things here. Here in prize show, the height needed to get up to 155. I think that's probably going to have to do the exact same thing in ask question. Excuse me. I put it in a variable even. Look at me. 155. There we go. Look at that. Looks pretty good. I don't even think I have to change anything else. Oh, that's because I added variables to everything. Look at me. I was so clever. All right. So now we need to fix these little guys. And I think I need to make these bigger again. Let's see, where did I do that? Must be the LI. Oh, yep, that's where the width is specified. I need to get out to 680, it looks like, so that the lines all line up. All right, that's pretty good. I like that. And now the height of this thing is what needs to adjust now, I think. To 80. I like that. And this correct answer is still wonky because I need to change the offset. .262. Looks right. So if it is correct, it is 262. And if it is selected. It is, ooh, wrong thing. 100, is that right? No. 101. 101. Like I said, sick a few days, getting over a cold. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Now I did like change some of the structure of this page, so I really need to check the first half of this too, where I show them the question stack. So if we go, I think I need to actually reset it so that we can start from the beginning. So if we go back to here, we clear the games. I built a little confirm in here just so I accidentally don't clear things out accidentally. So now we can create a new game, show the question, start the game. Let's make another game for Todd. Okay, so here is this page here. This looks pretty good, actually. I don't see any problems here. Let's fix this quick, just while I'm here. Obviously, you're not going to take prizes at level 1. So that would be on routes, game, queue, question details. Here on question details, we are rendering the pre-question, and we have here this list of controls. The thing that puts it up in the corner is all just like standard CSS. So here, this take prizes. Obviously, we should not show take prizes in some cases. So we will use hidden. That's a great question. So context of how am I going to defend against a cheater? I don't have to worry about a lot of that because the purpose of this game show right now is I'm going to run this up on stage at a conference next week. So I only ever need to host it on my laptop, and I am the game show host. So nobody is ever going to have a computer. I'm talking to the contestant and hitting the buttons. The buttons are for me, for my own thing, and they're just watching as this unfolds. So handling cheaters would be a really important thing in kind of the next phase of this when I want to release it on the internet. But for now, for version 1, I don't really need to worry about that. But good question. So we're going to hide this thing if what? If this dot what? Or no, if state.questionIndex. So if the index is 0, we don't want to bother showing that. Ooh, that's a good idea. This would be a cool Twitch add-on. That would be kind of neat. I don't know enough about how to do that, but like that is a cool idea. Maybe after the conference we'll figure out how to do that. All right, cool. So now we have this. Let's just make sure that works. So we're gonna show the question. We're gonna show the answers. We're gonna answer it right. It is goodbye world. There's a little 5-second delay for fanfare. There we go. We won. Next question. We're on level 2, so we could theoretically take the prizes if we wanted to. Seems like that's a good commit point. So we just did a little CSS fixing for 1080. Hide finish button on Q0. All right, the big thing that we need to do next is figure out prizes when we finalize a game. We need to show them something. So what should that look like? Let's maybe switch to sketching to figure that out. So let's move over to the iPad. Cool. Okay, so on finalize, which is, you know, we're at the game, whatever, 0. And if the game is finished, then we show this. Otherwise, there's already in place a redirect to next question, because there's no point in showing like a game summary if they're still active. All right, so what do we show? Well, there's a case where they're nothing. They won absolutely nothing. They answered question 0 incorrectly. And then there's a case where they won everything. They got all the way through. They never chose to quit. They just answered question 5. And then there's a case where they answered some correct, but there's at least one incorrect. And that's the hard one. So let's maybe build those in order. So case nothing. What do we show? So this is going to be up on stage. This is going to be up on stage. I am not sure. I don't really want to be like a jerk about anything. But like, hey, they answered the question wrong. We should probably show them. We should probably show them the prize stack. And there'll be like the logo in the corner or whatever. And then I need like some sort of like message or something. Or maybe I just don't need to show anything. I just need to like, maybe we'll play a lose sound in the future. And then we can just not do anything. There's just nothing there. None of the things are selected. None of the things are highlighted, and they just lost. And then we'll have some controls for home. That seems pretty simple. All right, so then there's a case of everything. In the case of everything, we got the logo. We probably got this. And they're probably all highlighted. We have the game button in the corner. And then I should do something like that stack only shows like, I don't have enough room for pictures there. But it'd be cool to like show the pictures maybe. So maybe what I could do is like, if I box these things in to show the prize and maybe do it at a like level it's set, I wonder if I'd have room for all 5 of them. Or maybe at least 4 of them. That'd be kind of a neat UI. And I would definitely show them like, hey, you won everything. And it should scale here as well, where like I'll only show them these things up to where they got. Let's see if I can do that. Let's take a run at that. So our first step is, this is just easy to recreate. Let's create this base structure for winning nothing. And go from there. So let's go home. Hello. I gotta get a production build going. Sometimes things are just really slow. Let's just create a new game. Find a player, show the question, start the game, lose. This is a losing game. Here's the things we can win. We're going to show the questions. What's 5 plus 3? 5 plus 3 is obviously not a number, right? No, I got that wrong. So, Finish the game. Okay, so game 1 has lost. Let's figure out what that looks like. Show prizes. Let's put our 3 cases. Case 1 nothing. Case 1 everything. Case 1 some things. So this is in game details is our page here. Game details is what's showing finished right now. And it's going to need game list, game new, game start. We're going to need a CSS file for it. I don't think I have one. All right, that's pretty good. Game details is going to start with a route game details. And this should start with a class route game details. And what are we going to have? We're going to have, we're going to have the game logo hanging out in the corner, which is just a component. It's easy enough. We're going to have some controls, which is just a standard function there. And the only controls I'm really going to have is a button of type button that takes the user home. And by convention, we're going to do class button purple. And on click, we're going to just send the user home. Send me home. And that should look like something. All right, we got the logo, we got the home button. So now let's render their prize stack that they won nothing from. I forgot, what does the prize stat need? No. It's kind of weird. That shouldn't be, should be prize stack. Prize show is called prize stack. Prize stack is also called prize stack. That's weird. How does this work? That's weird. How does that? Prize show. Oh, you know what? It's just because it's called the default, and it just kind of worked. That's weird. All right, we're going to rename that prize show. That's fun. Prize show prop. Prize stack, prize stack, prize stack, props. Cool. So we need the game and the current question index. The current question index is not really applicable in this case because we are done. So what do we do about that? We're going to take a quick bio break because I've been drinking way too much water. Think about that and come right back. Okay, I think I got it. So the prize stack is going to show, right now what it does is it highlights whichever thing you have selected. It's like that's the question you're going for. But it could just highlight the question you're going for and everything below it. Maybe that should be an option. Is highlight everything like should highlight below or highlight below is like another option to send it. But for now, let's just send it as is. We'll say the question index will be like the highest thing that they won, which in this case is nothing. So we need to send it, it's a game and it's question index, right? Not prize show, prize stack, game and question index. I guess we need to start setting a state here. State.game, cool. And the question index comes in on props, but it's a string, so we need to convert it. So just like we've done in a bunch of other places, I just need to do that. Why? Oh, it's still confused. I think maybe just Visual Studio is confused. I think Visual Studio's confused, or VS Code or whatever. Because it still thinks this is prize show. Let's just close code and have it figure it out again. Well, it is thoroughly confused. Prize stack props, prize stack, cool. Prize show, game details. Oh, that's why. Price stack, price show. Okay, cool. So let's try that again. Hey, there we go. So nothing is highlighted. That's fine. I want to style that thing similar to how I styled it here in question details, where I threw it off on the right of the screen, which is this right here. So let's grab that into game details. And I like this just because we're going to position stuff statically around. Cool. I don't think we need to show thresholds. Or maybe we do. And maybe that doesn't matter. All right, so we were showing them this. They won nothing. So I think we accomplished the goal, actually. I think that works. It would be kind of neat, maybe, to maybe show the picture of the thing here somewhere. Let's see if we can do that. Just to... No, I think it'll get confusing. It'll get too hard to see. Nobody will see that up on the screen. Okay, so I think that's it. I think we have, like, they won nothing at all. I think that accomplishes that first step. So game finish when user won nothing. So now let's figure out a case where they win everything. So let's go in here and let's make one where we win everything. So let's list off the games. Let's clear these out. Let's find a player and show a question and start the game. And we're going to say won everything. So we're just going to kind of click through this. 8 minus 2 is 6. Show the question. Math.min, the minimum value when you specify nothing is the largest value. what's the date? There's not 31 days in May, but this isn't May because month is a zero-based array, so it's actually saying June, so it overflows to July 1st. And for the big one, what is the value of this array? So we're creating an array, and we're creating an array inside the array, but when we specify more than, when we specify an array with a single value, it's saying its length. When we specify more than one thing, it's saying what's in it. So it ends up this weird thing here. All right, so we're at question 4. This should be the last question, and we need to figure out how to get the user there, because this is going to just try and route us to the next question, which is question 5 and does not exist. So we need to be smarter about those buttons right there, which is the. So how do we route the user there? So we're looking at this question, and we are rendering a question. Here's this right here. So here's showing a question. We show them their prize. We show them the question. We show some controls. Right now, we show the finish game button if it's incorrect. So if they answered the question correct, if the answer to the question is correct, is not equal to false, we hide it. Too many negatives here. Is there a show? No, that would make things easier for me to understand. Okay. You know what? It'd also make things easier to understand if I just inverted these whole statements. If question correct is false, then we don't hide it. These two double negatives counter each other for me. Cool. So if the question is false, or if we are at the last index, how do we figure out if we are at the last index? Well, we have a game, and we have a prize stack, and we have a length. This is how many prizes you can win. So if question asked, or no, if state.questionIndex is greater than or equal to the length, we show finish game. I think that's right. I think I have my logic correct. I do not. So in the current state, question index is 4. Prize stack.length is 4. So this is true. True, and this is false. So this is true, false, it should be hidden. Why is it not hidden? Time to attach a debugger. State.questionIndex is 4. Ooh. Oh, dumb. God, I'm dumb. Yep, it's not length minus 1. Yep, you're right. Thank you. That. So if question index is 4, see, programmers, it doesn't matter how many years you've been doing this, you make these mistakes all the time. Okay, finish game, sweet. Now we shouldn't show this next question, so we need to figure that out as well. Let's invert this as well, just because it is bugging me. If the question is not correct, indeed. Okay. So if show if question correct and next question is what we need to implement. So if the question is correct and state.questionIndex is less than or equal to is just less than, I think it would be a lot better to understand if we took that little guy out and put him up here. Let last question index equal that. If it's less than the last question index, or if it's greater than or equal to the last question index, that's a lot better. Okay. Cool. And if we go to like question 2, there was a next question. If we go to question 7, which doesn't exist, that should never happen. Question 4, finish game. Cool. So now we go to finish game. When we click on finish game, that calls finish game. Let's make sure that is doing the things that we want it to do. So we go in here into finish game, and what the game should do is it should go through the prize stack, and for every prize for every question that we asked, if we asked the question and the question was incorrect, we release the prize. Otherwise, they won the prize. It might be easier. It might be easier for us to like figure this out if game dot. No, we don't need to build that. So that's fine. We should be able to determine what they won by. No, why not? Why not? Let's go to the game and do a prize 1 as a list of prize. When we create a game, they haven't won anything. That's fine. So here, we're going to go through each thing in. Let's change this logic. I think this would be easier to understand if I said game.questionAsked.forEach. For each question we asked the user. what do we do? No, we actually have to do both. No, that's why I was looping over that. Okay. So we're looping over all their potential prizes, and we're seeing if, okay, did we ask them a question for this prize? And if we asked them a question, and the question that we asked them was correct, then they won this prize. Else, return this prize so that the next game can win it. That is easier to understand. So now we can say game.prize1.push prize. So now we're going to loop over, when we finish a game, we're going to loop over the prize stack. We're going to grab all the prizes they won, release the ones they haven't, mark it as finished, and hit save. Cool. So now let's finish this game. Ooh, we got an error. Because in my model, edit value. And the one I saved that didn't exist yet because we just created that. So I'm just going to like kind of hack this into place so we don't have to recreate this. I screwed this up. Okay. Edit. Oh. Prize 1. There we go. Finish the game. All right, so now we've landed on this home screen for the game, and we know that we've won some stuff. So the first thing we should do is let's highlight this whole stack. In game details, why would we don't have a question index here. Why did I think I needed that? I needed that to put something in here, even though it's nothing. That was dumb of me. All right, let's rip that out. That's not something I need. What I do need is I need to know the highest index answered. Largest indexed answered. So if I say largest prize index is 4, it highlights that. And if we say highlight what would we call it? If I want to highlight all the prizes below that too. Okay, so if we could get that, we want to highlight lower. So this is the thing about thresholds. Here's the thing about whether we're highlighting it. Highlighting is current. So what should I do here? I think I want to maybe get a little bit smarter in this loop. So rather than just doing a return there, we'll create a return and make this thing a full function so that we can calculate some logic that for this prize, should it be current? Let is current is going to be a Boolean, and it's going to be if the current thing is what you passed in, cool, or what? Or state dot or props dot highlight lower index and what? And I is less than, you know what, let's, we're going to simplify this. If we're highlighting everything lower, then it's if I is less than or equal to an index. Otherwise, it's I is equal to props dot question index is current. There we go. Ooh, didn't work. Prize stack. Let's just drop in right here. Cool. Is current. Highlight lower index was not specified. Undefined. Okay. Did we not pass that through correctly? Oh, we didn't save it. Huh. There we go. Everything is highlighted. Ooh, I don't like, I think I still need some sort of divider between them when they're all highlighted. So if it's current, maybe I want to be like padding 2 pixels. No, I want what? So by default, the padding is 5 pixels, 20 pixels. If I reduce that by 1, then I can do border bottom 1 pixel solid black. Yeah, I like that. In prize stack current, let's add that little guy, let that little guy, and now we have our fully highlighted guy here. Okay, we're gonna take another quick break here and be right back. All right, we're back. I think. Yeah, JavaScript might be, not the greatest, but like, if you want to build a browser app, it's really the only game in town. So we just got to deal with it. So, okay, we have this thing here, which I'm pretty sure works good. If we go to one of our, let's build another game for the other state just so we can make sure we're not breaking the other stuff that we did. Let's just create a new game. Lost everything. That worked. That's pretty good. Show the question. What's the result? It's pick something incorrect. Finish the game. Okay, so that's obviously not right. The game details, right now we have this largest prize index set to 4. We need to figure out what is the actual thing that they won. Let's just maybe do it inline here and then we'll figure out where the right place for that logic to live. So we have the game, we have the state.game.question asked. And we need to find the largest, index that they won, or it's 0. QA dot is correct. Let largest prize index equals 0. So then if the one we're looking at is correct and QA dot question index is greater than or equal to largest prize index, then largest prize index equals QA dot question index. I think that's it. Could probably do that with a reduce as well, but like, I think that would be harder to understand looking at it. So now if we look at this, I don't actually want it 0 because they didn't win 0. They won nothing. So maybe the largest prize index is -1. Nothing. Everything. Ooh, you know what? The text I put in here is blowing that out. I think I have a CSS problem I need to solve there. I don't really constrain the width of this guy. I think maybe I need to constrain the width to 380, 420, 480. 480 seems good. No, 420. Or you know what? It just doesn't matter. Let's just drop the word combo from that guy and be done. So that's cool. We're showing, I saved, that's fine, doesn't matter. So we got nothing, we got everything, that's cool. The next thing I want to do is if you want stuff, I'd like to show like the pictures and the sponsors and all that sort of stuff. So let's see if we can get those in here. Maybe we'll figure this out. We'll commit something here. Sure. Game finished shows prize stack 1. So let's just pick the top thing first, top prize, and we'll show that. So here in game details, let prizes 1 equal, no, we already have that. It's on game.prizes1. Cool. So let's say, let's create an ordered list and we'll just do a state.game.prizes1.map prize, and we'll create a li for you. And the li is going to be a, no, this is dumb. We don't need OLs and LIs. Let's just call div class prizes 1 and div class prize 1 wrap. And we are going to do a prize show with the prize is the prize. And let's see if that works. Bam, look at that. All right. It's in the backwards order that we'd want it. Okay, there we go. And it's way too big. Way too big. So this prizes 1 thing needs to be like max width, 80 view width. This prize show thing. Prize show, that needs to be 100% of its parent, not 100% of the view. And the prizes 1, let's say max width is going to be 70 view width, 80 view width. Sure, I guess. It's awful big. Max height is 100 of the view's height. That obviously doesn't work so good. Because these things have hard-coded sizing in them. Yeah, maybe that needs to be contain rather than cover. Oh, need to make its width again. Let's just go and do that so I don't have to keep hard coding it. Okay, that's not bad. It's obviously too much still. If I shrink this more, does it scale? It scales that way. It doesn't scale height-wise. At least the stuff inside of it does not. Let's see if we can make it scale height-wise. So that's obviously the biggest thing. Which rather than specifying, so we have a flex that is just whatever space it has. That's set to its width of its parent, which should be maybe a percentage instead, 80%. Sure, 66%. Okay, getting better, getting better. This is still hard-coded at 300. So maybe what this should be is flex, whatever, whatever, but this is 40%, 30%, 33%. Suppose we could just make each of these 33%. No, let's just make that one 33%. Those are getting good. I like this. Let's make another page and go to my test page, just so I make sure I'm not screwing everything up. There's a few issues with height, but like I think I can solve those. So that actually became bigger than it was before. I need maybe yeah. You know, it's kind of okay if it just let it overrun a little bit maybe. Maybe we'll just leave it. Yeah, sure. I don't care. What does it look like here? These logos are just so big. Yeah, you can just do that. Sure. Request Metrics is a JavaScript or a web performance monitoring service that I built with a few other people. It's basically a JavaScript agent that goes on your page and records how fast did the actual end users who used your website, how fast did they experience your site? And then it aggregates together like all those kind of metrics. So you can see how fast your websites run in real time. So we gather a bunch of stuff like how fast page loads, where it comes from, what domains you build on, that sort of stuff. It's pretty cool. But in this case, I'm just using this as like placeholder data for stuff because I don't know what prizes we're going to give away. So I need to figure that out still. But I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks still a little messy, but okay. So if we start adjusting the size here, I think we might be able to, that text is just, that text size is keeping us down. Okay, so how do we adjust this text size? How do we adjust that? Where's the size coming from? Oh, there we go. Height 155. There we go. So in prize show, we have this couple of 155s here. They're hard-coded. And we have a font size right here we have to figure out. But if we take those out, and then start adjusting this, nice. How's it look here? All right, so we need to figure out this font size thing. So font size. I think, if I remember correctly, rem is the one that adjusts to the size of the element that it's in. I might have to Google that shit. No. CSS font size to element to box size. No. CSS font size relative to container. Percent of viewport width. I don't want to adjust it to viewport. I want to adjust to container. Fitting text to a container. Oh, all right. View width. Let's try that. For view width. To view width, sure. Prize is 1. That does not seem to be adjusting it. Oh, that's because I'm changing the whole... JavaScript. I don't know if I want to use that. Just use SVG. That's not bad. Ooh, that's actually a really good idea. That's a really good idea. We'll make it an SVG and then it'll adjust dynamically. Sweet. Prize show. Love it. Width 100%. It's not gonna wrap though. Shoot. Well, I guess what we could do is just try and be as approximate as we can with it. I don't love this. I mean, so that fits there. Too big there. So we will just change this to 2EM. Okay. All right, so getting better, getting better. Fits there, fits there. Let's see if we can tighten these up a bit. Price one wrap, margins, -50, pixel 0. Just kind of tighten them all up. I mean, that's pretty good. Now it'd be cool to make every subsequent one a little bit narrower. I think I'd have to do that with putting an index on them. So it'd be like I1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't love. I want to be able to adjust the size accordingly. So like that this one's always on the bottom and it's always the smallest. Do I know anything about the prize? Prize dot. I don't. I just know how many there are. Well, if we don't reverse it, then I is the list. And then what we could do is we could go to our prizes one and do display flex, flex direction, column reverse. And ooh, I like this idea. Okay. Prizes one is going to be position absolute, height 100 of the view height, spread space evenly, I think that's close to what I want. I think my padding or margin or something is screwing something up. Yeah, I bet it's that. Good, 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 good. Okay, so now we just need to adjust the width of these things appropriately. So if this thing here, if my prize one wrap had, what if this had a little bit of side margins on it? Does that change anything? No. Left 100 pixel. Margin right 100 pixel. Ooh, it does. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 1, 2. So I need to, ooh, I think I got this. All right, so just like we were doing before, I think you'd be a little bit smarter. So let's do a return here. And let size equals side margin is going to be, in the case where I is 0, I need it to be, that's 100, I need it to be maybe 200. And so if I is 1, I need it to be like 160. If I is 2, I need it to be 100. If I is 3, I want it to be like 50. And I is 4, I want it to be 0. So maybe we just make this nice round. And it's like I times 50, 200 equals I, or 200 minus I times 50. So when I is 0, it's 200 minus 0. When I is 1, it's 200 minus 50. Yeah, that works. And so then this will have a style of we'll have a style of margin left, margin right, bam. It gets a little squishy here at the bottom. But it's not bad. I don't mind that at all, actually. I wish the Z index was different. Maybe what I need to do is put like Z index equals I want the biggest prize. Yeah, I really just want it to be like that. So that didn't work. There's not a Z index on these guys. Why? Oh, that's why. There we go. Now it's in the right order. But I put all of them above this, and I don't want them above that. So I need to put probably a Z index on him as well of Z index 10. Sure, that works. Okay. That is cool. Now the only other thing that'd be cool is if they animated in. Let's make sure this still looks okay. Yep, that still looks fine. So let's see if we can get these to animate in. I do that already here in here. The prizes get transformed out, and then when show gets added, it pops them in. So how could we toggle a class to appear? We could put a button that's be like show prizes. I like that. Yeah, we'll do like a show prizes thing. So here, let's do that. Let's do show prizes. And that's going to be e.this.show prizes. We'll create a function for you. Private show prizes. This.set state show prizes is true. I guess we need to make a state interface game. Oh, there is one. That is a state. Show prizes. Boolean. Okay, and then here for these little guys, we're gonna just change this class over to one of these, and it's always going to be a prize1 wrap, and then it might also be a state.show prizes show, otherwise nothing. Cool. And then this prize1 wrap, prize1 wrap and show is what we want to steal. All right, let's try that. Did not work. Because they're all over there. Even when we're showing them. Oh, am I the right thing? Prize wrap. No, this is the wrong place. Prize1 wrap. Game details. Let's put you right next to this. Prize1 wrap and show. Nice. Nice. It'd be cool to put a delay on it so that they do it in like order.
if I go in here, ooh, that shouldn't be scrollable. I guess I need to do overflow hidden. Ooh. All right. So if we look in here, can't scroll now. That's good. Prize is 1. If I edit one of these and put a style on it that's like transition delay is 2 seconds, and then show prizes. Yes. Yes. All right, so now we can come in here and just add another style here that will be transition delay of what? If it's I, it's going to be the backwards order. No, that's what I want. I seconds, I think. Yeah. All right. That is good. Oh, we're hiding our controls. That's okay. We can fix that. In fact, let's just put it here in our common controls. Z index 100. That should never be. Cool. This user won everything. This user won nothing. So there's no prizes to show. Maybe we should just say the word no prize or something like that. Let's see, what should we say? We should say something. We should say, that's a weird place for that to go. Width. or inside the prizes won.
There. No prizes won. All prizes won. Sweet. Let's hide that button maybe. We're only going to show prizes if what? Well, we're going to negate that so it's easier to think about. We're going to be like if state dot, we're going to show it if we're not already showing the prizes, or if state.game.prizes1.length is greater than 0. We'll show if the length of prizes is greater than 0 or we're not already showing the prizes. So here we should not see the button, which is wrong. God, I hate that this is a hidden and not a show. So this, in that case, prizes1.length is 0. So greater than 0 is false. There we go. Okay. That's a good amount of work right there. Let's add a few things here, and then we'll test one more case. In fact, let's just test one more case now before we check it. Let's add a third game. So here we won everything. Here we won nothing. Let's win 2 things. So let's find a player, show a question, start game, some win. All right, we'll show a question, show the answer. It is goodbye world, final answer. We won the sloth squish toy. That's cool, that looks good, I like that. Next question. Let's win one more. JavaScript was developed and promoted by which company? It was developed and promoted by Netscape. And we won. Cool. Next question. So now we have won the sloth keychain and the sloth squish toy if we take our prizes. So let's take our prizes. Ooh, that is not where we wanted it to go. That button does not work. Question details. We are looking at the pre-question and we go here. Yeah, that's an old link. We want it to finish the game instead. So let's change this route to this dot on finish game.
take prizes. Okay, we showing that we won those two. Show prizes. I'd say that works pretty damn well. We have to handle one more case here, but we'll do it after we commit. Maybe I think I'll do it. I'll take a break here for a bit, have some lunch, and then do it. We need to handle the case where the user hits this threshold. So they answer this one correctly, and then maybe they fail this one. They should still win these three things. But if they failed to answer this correctly, then they won nothing. We'll handle that after the break. Okay. Showing prizes on game finalize. All right, show prizes for game finalize. Sweet. So the next thing will be prizes should consider the thresholds that we cross. We'll handle that. And we figured that out as well already. So I'll come back next time and we will do thresholds probably. Sound good? All right. So thanks so much for watching with me. I think we got a decent amount done. I think I'm on track to do this next week. So thanks for watching.